Hi there, welcome. I am Amanda Nicole, and I'd like to share some medicine with you. This morning, I read a blog post that was lovely but also vulnerable and brave by Ariella Daly. Some of you may know her with the title Beekeeping in Skirts on Instagram and other places. Maybe you've heard her in podcasts or taken some of her classes, perhaps, or read some of her posts where she speaks about the medicine of bees and working with bees and relating to the earth and the honeybee and this way of being in the world, this medicine in the world from a feminine perspective and from a shamanic perspective. She carries the ancient ways and she brings them and she teaches them and shares them. And her blog post this morning was about theft, about when we take what really is not ours and appropriate it as such and put it out into the world, particularly when it comes to teachers and students um, and how does all of this work when the medicine does indeed belong to all of us, and yet it's coming through particular people and particular conduits that are speaking in particular ways and have their own unique ways of expression. So if you would like to read the blog, which is important and well written, well done, I'll have a link below where you can click and read her posting. But this morning, after I read it, I was going about the house. I'm preparing to do some land work today and blessing this house and preparing for ceremony, for prayer, for blessing. And I can't get her blog off of my mind. So I thought before I begin today, I'm going to have to sit down and share some medicine and take my voice and offer it along with hers to sing together, hopefully, a song that is woven together in harmony. I am incredibly thankful for my teachers. I I can't act as if I haven't had them. And when I am in class or when I am in consultation or even in conversation and I am sharing medicine, I do intentionally and consciously endeavor to acknowledge my teachers. So sometimes I've been a little concerned that maybe my doing so interrupts the flow of a conversation, or maybe it interrupts the rhythm of my words, especially when it comes to the podcast and other more, you know, almost artistic or creative ways of communicating besides, a simple conversation, but it's necessary. So, those of you who have taken classes with me in person or online, or spoken to me, or maybe we've written one another, you probably have heard me say. Matthew Wood once said, my teacher Teresa, my friend and teacher Ashley Ellenboss, or maybe I'll say the Ojibwe people, or Daniel Four, an ancestral medicine teacher, or Sarah Thomas, who teaches lovely music about, or lovely medicine about stones. I'll list these names, and if you're in class with me or speaking with me, you will hear names. You will hear Asia Suler, no questions asked. You will hear her name. You will hear me speak of Robin Rose Bennett when I sing the Blueberry Song. That is my favorite medicine song, really. I think that's directly connected to a plant. But it's not good. It's not honest for me to sing the Blueberry Song without acknowledging that it was given to me through Robin Rose Bennett's book, and then acknowledging the story that's there where she received it from her student. And I often share a link to his page so people can hear the song in its entirety. This is important. What it is, I think, is a way of showing gratitude for the medicine that I've been given, gratitude for the generosity of these teachers. I have had generous teachers. That's the word that I would use to describe the teachers that I have had. They are generous. And it's interesting because in Ariella's blog post, she addresses that how some people have said that she's been too generous, she's given too much. And that makes me sad to hear that because do we want the medicine keepers? Do we want the medicine men, the medicine women? Do we want the conduits and the channels to close up, to clog up? Sometimes it happens, which is sad, and then other times, in spite of themselves, they can't because spirit is simply going to flow through. But do we really want a world where teachers are less generous? Do we want that? Because what happens if there's less generosity? There's less medicine, there's less blessing, there's less well-being. Generosity is necessary for knowledge and for medicine to continue on and to go forward. So when I name my teachers, this is in gratitude. This is in gratitude for their generosity to me. And it is also, and I do want to take care in saying this, but it's true. Their names are offered with humility. I want to offer them in recognition that I have been and am and continue to be, will be a student. Yes, this is important. This is important. If you meet someone that presents as a teacher in whatever capacity, formal or informal, and they seem to have forgotten that they were once a student, are at this moment a student, and will continue to be a student, be thankful for the medicine they've given you and then give a little space. It is very important for us to remember that we are and have been and will be students. You know, we have not reached a pinnacle or the apex. We're not finished. You know, we keep going. So I offer the names of my teachers with humility to let my students know, or client or friend, that I am a student, right? So gratitude, humility, and then to recognize that the source of all of it is spirit. The source of all of it is the divine. So my teachers were given medicine and they were blessed by spirit. And I've been given medicine and I was blessed by spirit. And I do have medicine that is my own, if you understand. I received it on my own. I didn't read it in a book. I didn't hear it in a class. I wasn't given it by a human teacher. Um, I gathered that medicine up through my own experiences or interactions, particularly with the plants or with the land or with an element or with spirit, in prayer and in meditation, right? What's so interesting though is that even that medicine, that might be considered my own, not from a human, source, is gifted to me. I remain a student. I remain in gratitude. And so when you're in classes with me, I do try to say, Tulip Poplar told me this, Violet told me this, Rose showed me this. I don't want people to think that this wisdom that's being shared, because it is wisdom, it's wise, um, comes from inside Amanda somewhere, all on its own. I am being a conduit. I am being a channel for the medicine of this particular place or this particular plant to speak. I am offering up my throat. I am offering up my voice, my heart, my body to be an instrument, to be a conduit for the medicine. And so I want that to be known. I don't want people to walk away saying, you know, Amanda's so wise, Amanda's so this, Amanda's so that. Although I appreciate kind words, but I want them to know I've just been listening to Rose, and you can go listen to Rose too. I've just been listening to The Land at Jones Gap. You can go and listen to. I've just been listening to Wild Strawberries. You can listen to, you know. I do also want to recognize in saying that I am not outside of the picture. I'm not outside of the medicine. I am a part of it, but it is co-creating. So as I create my classes, as I, record podcasts, as I write things, as I share things, even this video at this moment is an act of co-creating. It's an act of co-creating with Ariella. It's an act of co-creating with the teachers I've mentioned. It's an act of co-creating with the plants. One in particular that I feel like this video is very much a co-creation with is Wild Strawberry. And I'm sure you know the book Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and she has the chapter there, The Gift of Strawberries, and this idea of reciprocity and these gifts that were given by others, by the plants, by the land, and by human beings. These are gifts. And so the gifts are meant to be given. And so the teachers give them. And the students gather them up so that they can be given. But we want to say thank you. We want to have gratitude. We want to have humility. We want to recognize our place in the web. We want to recognize our role as co-creators. This is what we want to do. This is the way to do it in a loving way, in a medicine way, in a beauty way, in a way that is truly healing and balancing and offers well-being. So today, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm going to be doing ceremony here, blessing the land and blessing this house. And what I'll be doing was given to me by one of my teachers, Sarah Thomas. I'll leave her link below. She's like such an excellent, amazing spirit and human being, so full of generosity and of humor and of love. And one of the things that she's excellent with is acknowledging her teachers. And I believe, I want to be sure that I say her name correctly, but I may not. This particular ceremony, Sarah makes a point of saying, this was taught to me by my teacher, by Yoti Ma, and she wants to be sure to acknowledge that. And I love that about her. She's very good about acknowledging her teachers. And so I think at this moment, I would just like to take time. It will just be a few seconds if you don't mind, and say the names of some. I'm sure I cannot gather all, but some of my teachers, whether I've learned from them in person or in books or through videos or podcasts. I want to acknowledge some of my teachers because I have generous, generous teachers. So thankful for their medicine. I've been able to gather it up and find wellness and healing in my own body and in my own spirit, and then have things in my hands to give to others and to direct others their way to these generous teachers. So I would like to acknowledge Teresa Boardwine, who was my first herbal teacher, my first plant teacher from Green Comfort School of Herbal Medicine. So generous in her offerings to me. I wouldn't be here making this video or offering the medicine that I offer in other ways without Teresa. I would like to acknowledge Matthew Wood. Matthew Wood is sort of a teacher of my heart. The way that he approaches the plants and the way he approaches this world, it resonates with me. And I'm very thankful for his generosity, incredibly generous teacher. I would like to acknowledge Ashley Lateki Ellenboss with Sky House School of Herbal Medicine. I think it's getting some new names now as they make some changes. But she has been so generous with me, not only offering me medicine so that I can gather it, but then allowing me opportunities to teach. That is no small thing when a teacher says to a student, come and sit beside of me and teach with me. That's no small thing. That takes generosity of spirit and humility of spirit. So I want to thank Ashley. I'm so thankful for Asia Suler. Oh my goodness, she's ministered to my spirit so much and offered me so much medicine through her intuitive plant medicine class and her other online offerings. And I'm constantly using her name and directing people to uh, her blog and her essences. I wouldn't be the teacher that I am without Asia Suler of, some of you know, One Willow Apothecaries. I'm thankful for Robin Rose Bennett in that book. I mean, the Blueberry Song, I can't teach without the Blueberry Song. I'm thankful for Robin Rose Bennett. I'm thankful for Pam Montgomery and the connection that she has encouraged in me through her books with plant spirit medicine and connecting to the world in that way. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for Sarah Thomas. She is, I don't know, she's one of my favorite teachers. I feel like she is just the embodiment of love. The first time that I took a class with her, it was Stone Medicine for the Heart at Southeast Women's Herbal Conference. It was a 3 hour intensive the evening before the conference began. I'd been drawn to stone some, thought I'd go take this class. Oh my goodness. I was blown away by her knowledge and by her humor, her spirit. Goodness, I can say so much about Sarah. I'm so thankful for her. And she just gives and gives and gives. I'm thankful for Sarah. I'm thankful for Rebecca Dawn of Mulberry Mud. I've never sat in on a class with her, but she's ministered to me so much through her plant medicine, through her art, through her word medicine, her messages to me, and her connection to animals and to spirit and to root and land and earth and what she's taught me. I'm just sort of feeling them for just a moment. Well, I could name more, but I'll stop there with those. Those are the ones that want to come and be blessed and thanked this morning. And then I could not even begin to list the plant teachers. Maybe I'll just primarily say I'm thankful for tulip poplar, for rose, for violet, for blue vervain, for hawthorn, for holly. Holly's a medicine. I'm thankful for the land here in upstate South Carolina, the land around Treaty Oak, for the land at Jones Gap, for the land at Table Rock, for the land that was at my little house in Central, where I was for a short time, that began to speak. I'm thankful for the South Carolina Botanical Gardens and the way that that piece of land speaks. I'm thankful for Chowram. I'm thankful for the rivers and mountains of this area. I'm thankful for Western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina, for the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Shenandoah Valley. I am. I'm thankful for Bristol, Tennessee, where I grew up, and Little Stills Creek Park, for Mendota, Virginia, for the ways that those pieces of land have spoken to me. I'm thankful for John O'Donohue and for his poetry and his prose and his medicine words. I'm thankful for Mary Oliver, who is a medicine woman. I'm thankful for her words and for her poetry. So thankful. Hmm. I have to say, too, I'm thankful for my friend and student, Rebecca Smith, and the music she creates. She creates some songs that I sing in my classes, and I always want to say, Rebecca wrote this song, as I bring those songs into the classes because they're medicine and I'm offering them up, and it's a medicine she's given and now I give out. And so I'm thankful for Rebecca Smith and for the medicine that she offers through her songs. So many teachers. Let's remember to be thankful. Let's remember to walk with gratitude. Let's remember to walk with humility, remembering that all of us find our medicine in source, in spirit, in the divine. And all of us are students, and all of us are conduits and channels, and we're sharing. And we want a world that's generous and a world that's full of reciprocity. This is what is good. This is what is healing. This is what promotes wellness and well being. This is what is loving. So honor your teachers, name their names, remember them. In honoring them, you say thank you. And in honoring them, you say thank you to Source, to Spirit, for giving you good, generous teachers. Okay, I hope that was good medicine. I feel good remembering my teachers today before I go into ceremony. Okay, bye now.